So chapter 1102, paragraph text. Not a huge amount to show you with paragraph text. It's got a reasonable text editor. It's not the best in the world, but it does a fine job of adding text to a drawing. Different types of text you can add. We'll look at paragraph text in this video. There we've got leader and dimensions. So it'll do linear and angular dimensions. This is our text style tray. You've got a format option and you've got a list option. Then we've also got a text on the menu, which includes most of the things in the text style tray. And we've got some extra ones. You can make text bigger or smaller by a point size each time. We've also got superscript or subscript options, and we've got the spacing, single, 1.5, double, and then we've got this custom box, which allows us to add a fixed value, and we can also put some spacing before or after each of the paragraphs. Okay, so that's not so bad. So in the chapter 1102 folder, there is a file called text, and it's just some fill text, so we can show you how the text editor works. So not only can you just type in your text, but you can also cut and paste from a different text editor. So I'm Control C to copy that text. I'll just close that down. If I choose my paragraph text and draw a paragraph text box and then Control V to paste that in, then I can paste in the text as well. So that's quite useful. The other quite nice thing about the paragraph text is it retains the size of the text box, but I can also use these handles just to move the text around. I can reposition it. What it doesn't give me is the option of columns, but it would be fairly easy to create columns just by copying one piece of text across. So let's move that back. To edit the text, if I just want to select that and change the font, then I can change the font just by clicking on the font styles. If I want to change the point size, now 10 point, as we learned from the previous video, is about 3.5 mil. So if I wanted it to be slightly bigger, then 7 mil, let's say, that's 20 point. So that's going to give me much larger text. And if it spills over the boundaries of this text box, you get a little red down pointing arrow that says you need to basically stretch out, or there's something missing from that as well. So text editor useful. Editing the text inside the text editor, then select it and then click and drag, and then you can change types of font. If you then decided to change the whole thing again, that doesn't stay formatted like that. It'll just go back to the default for the text box. The font color can be updated by clicking on the font color, and if I chose maybe one of these colors or a brighter color so you can see the changes, then it does that as well. If I didn't want paragraph text, I just wanted to create a string of text, for example. So I wanted to put the elevation sign up here, then just use the same text editor, but just click on the screen, and again down to your text editor. We'll use 20 point for this, which is 7 mil. And then I can click away, and then I've got a little text box there, which again I can stretch out and change if I want. Bold, bold italic, italic, and regular. So there's not much else to show you about the text editor. Have a little explore. There are some small bits and pieces in there. We looked at custom auto text, but if you did want to have a couple of sections where you didn't want to cut and paste this in, you just wanted to put a word in, or you had a series of these things and you didn't necessarily want to have each of them showing on the drawing, then if I went to text and customize auto text and decided to make a new tag, and I'll call it custom text, and maybe you've got a disclaimer or something that you want to put in. So make sure you got it inside the parentheses, and then put your disclaimer text into the text box, and you can close that down. Let's get rid of this. And then I can click here, and in my parentheses, less than, greater than, and click away. Then I get that text appearing there. Now, this is what happens. It's unbounded. So this does sometimes cause a problem. There's a little button there that says unbounded. If you've got paragraph text and you click unbounded, it strings along the drawing just like that. You get one nice string of text. And the only way to get that back is to zoom in like so. So not necessarily a brilliant way to do something. Certainly highlighting one of the downsides of the text. If I put that into a paragraph box, then I wouldn't have had that problem. I'll just show you that now. So double clicking this gives me this. If I'd had this text box and I'd typed this in, then I would have just got the normal text in a paragraph box. Okay, so I think that's enough about text and what you can do with it. Have a little play around with it, choose your fonts and set up your drawing, but just make sure everything's nice and neat and lined up.